Mr. Mazur and me would like to invite you here, welcome you here in Prague by this FIDE trainer seminar. We hope that together with the Grandmaster Rivas, you will get new experiences, new information, and that you will be satisfied. So we want to wish you good luck.
Of course, our main aim here is to try to talk and understand how modern training is working nowadays according to the ideas of the FIDE Trainers Commission mostly. We gave a book to all of you. In this book it's also inside everything that we'll make here. But of course we will not make all the book because 15 hours is not so many. Usually this book is destined for 35 hours, so we'll make a little bit for quicker things. Actually, in the last day, you will write an exam of 1 hour, and all the things will come from inside this book. So you have a little reading as well. Gather to learn chess or to learn things which is so simple. We'll try to talk how is the modern training going and what exactly we want to aim for. I think Alexandra has been before in one of my seminars, so she knows a little bit. Why you don't make the seminar so I can go to sleep? Also, I have to excuse me to ask your apologies that I'm dressed like this, but my luggage just arrived. I was lucky enough to arrive at least, and it was not lost somewhere in China. The FIDE Trainers Commission started to make its operation in FIDE something like 10, 12 years ago. You know, things is not so easy in cooperation all over the world. But nowadays, using the modern technology of internet and the communication have become really quite easy. So, why we tried, I mean, not me, my predecessors before me, and other people which worked the original idea, what they were trying to do. We're starting with a very certain idea. If you go to Google and you ask about chess training, you will receive about 4.5 million hits back. Most of the guys that you will see, they're claiming that they are excellent trainers, which I have nothing to do, I don't know the guys, but maybe they are. But they are saying that they're official, they're recognized by FIDE, they're recognized by everything that you can imagine. And in the end, they're recognized by nobody. So here we have a very clear case of fraud. Something is wrong. What is a certified trainer and why they are claiming that they're certified from the World Federation? The deal is very simple. Trainers all over the world, they want to get accreditation. Accreditation for what they are doing, and so they can have a better job, they can have more students, they can make better living. Okay, I have nothing against this. Everybody, I wish them good luck, no problem. But at least we have to understand what is a certified trainer and for what exactly we are doing all this kind of stuff. This is nothing to do only with FIDE or chess in general. All the federations in the world, they have this system. We just copy the system, mostly for football. And we try to apply it in chess. So we're not doing something new, or something really which is we thought about it. We try to follow what is doing Football Federation mostly. You know, if you're not a certified FIFA trainer, you cannot enter the playing code. Even if you work in Bayern Munich, you cannot go inside. You're nobody. This is how it goes to football. Either you're certified by FIFA or UEFA, depends. They have both. Either you're nobody. I don't know if it is correct or not correct. I know that this is how the system today, in all sports. So what we tried, our main aim is to try to make the same in FIDE. And maybe one question which you're going to make me, very simple question, and what do you think? 15 hours of good speaking with you make me a better trainer or certified trainer? This would be a very nice question. Don't be so gentleman, I mean, ladies, make this question, it's not so bad. The main answer is no. Nobody will become a better trainer in 15 hours of talking. A better training we can come every day by our work and our believing. If we try to become a better for ourselves, we can become better for our trainees. But what the FIDE Commission is doing, when you are entering the family, after we finish this seminar, you will enter the family of the FIDE Trainers Commission, if you wish, of course. There is nothing forced. So, by this one, there is a continuous information of the years to come. We're trying to, every month, we're giving free articles you can download from our site, which you can find inside FIDE. I will give you all the information. You can also see it here, the trainersfide.com. It will be a site which you can get a lot of material, a lot of information. Every year you're going to receive 2 books, which is for free again, in your federation. You have to know that all the communication will be made with your federation. And this is correct because FIDE is a confederation of federations. It doesn't do directly with people, as for example, it's a German federation. German federation is confederation of players. But FIDE is different, confederation of federations. So cooperates only with federations. All the material which we're going to set for you yearly will be set through your federation, or you can get some material also through the FIDE site in the Special Trainers Commission. Actually, what you have to know, from next year, as far as I know, there will be a change in the way that the trainers are allowed to get to the playing hall. It was to be applied from this year, but we've frozen to speak about it in the coming Istanbul Olympiad. No FIDE certified trainer will be allowed to enter anymore the playing hall. This is the main idea. It has to be like the football and the other sports, which you have to be certified. So actually, you're gonna need it. And because I see that all of you, you're coming as trainers or parents, I don't know exactly because I don't know most of you personally, except my previous trainee, which she likes it so much that she came again. Thank you. So, what exactly we're doing in this commission, which I'll tell you, the commission is not someone that belongs to the stars. It's you. A lot of people ask me, what's the commission do for us? And the main thing is that I say that the commission is doing some certain thing, but the commission is made up by members. The members is you will be you, the other one who is in the family. In the family nowadays that we speak, we are already 1,500 persons all over the world, which is a nice number if you think that we started something like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago actually, the second period of, let's say, the Trainers Commission. And we're getting to get more numbers, as you understand. So, what is the aims of the FIDE Trainers Commission and what is really doing? Okay, any subject that concerning trainers, you can find in the trainers.fide.com. And of course we keep the record of the list of trainers, everything. Now in our system, if you ask your name in the rating list, not your name because you are not officially trainers, but anybody else you know that he's a trainer, the title also appears as the Grandmaster or the title, the National Master or any title of FIDE. The FIDE Trainers Commission also awards the highest training title, but this for this we'll learn later about the titles of training titles. Because we don't have only one training title, we have a scale that contains 5 titles. So the highest title worldwide is the FIDE Senior Trainer, which is not awarded in a seminar, but it's awarded by voting between the members of the commission. It's quite a high title if you consider there are only 110 in the world. I mean, I don't want to say that, but compared to the Grandmaster, it's more difficult to become FIDE Senior Trainer Because Grandmaster we have 1,300, in the same place only 110. So I don't say it's more difficult. Don't take me wrong. Grandmaster is a Grandmaster, but I tell that it's a difficult title. You have to make a lot, but we'll speak for this title later. We have also established a new way of thinking chess worldwide. We created the academies, the FIDE academies. This is a very new project when we start. Our aim is to create 500 academies all over the world. And maybe afterwards in your countries you are interested to run these academies or to create them. We'll talk about these academies. Actually, to run an academy you must be certified trainer. So you will not have a problem, but you have advantages over other persons. You can fully understand that. As for the Trainers Commission, of course, we have expenses. So we have from 2009 FIDE was kind enough to help us with the budget. It's a nice thing to know that you can make a lot of things. We have the FIDE Trainers Awards. I don't know if you noticed it. A nice prize because they are made only 5 per year in the whole world, only for us. A special edition from a famous Ukrainian artist, which I cannot even tell. It's very difficult to make for me, but probably you know the artist. So, as you see, we're running this for the 4th consecutive year. And this is the previous winner of everyone. We give the Botvinnik, the Furman, the Oive, the Boleslavsky, and Petrosyan medal. All these concern certified trainers of FIDE. In order to be eligible for the prizes, you have to be in the system. And this is this year, okay, it's just information. The chess books in English by Zeron Bosch, in German by Uwe Burns, in Russian by Anatoly Vyhovsky, you can download it, and in Spanish by Miguel Ilescas. This is the update of 2012, we started on 2010. So it's very easy to go and see. You can get this way, directly from the site, which is your site as well. Okay, titles and things is not important now. You can, I'm sure you can see your home. As I told you, there are monthly free surveys. We're trying to collect the best trainers in the world if possible, and you can see that there are many here surveys which you can download monthly. And here, for example, if you're interested, you can get our previous material. For example, here you can download the yearbook 2010, it's 200 pages. There is a PDF and booklet. You can download it in your computer. You can do the same with the yearbook 2011. The yearbook 2012, you're going to receive it. But this one, you cannot receive it anymore because we're out of print. But we try to give our older books and magazine in PDF form in our site. So still you have a lot of material to download if you want. You never saw this site? You did? Well, it's been here about 3 or 4 years. It's a pity. So, also you have to know that the Trainers Commission nowadays have found some ways to cooperate with even the International Olympic Committee. What is the idea of a chess talent? What do you think? Who clarify to me what is a chess talent. Say what you I believe you have the daily.
Probably to do something in doing less effort.
Less effort. So let's see that we work, me and someone else. We look around and do something with less effort and talent.
I'll be better than the others.
How I do it?
He learns it faster.
Learn faster.
Yeah.
So if we learn faster, it becomes better.
I tell him once and he understands it immediately, so that's what I call talent.
Understand immediately or apply immediately. You know, there is a big difference. I'm saying usually there is a big difference of knowing the path and walking the path. No. Great difference.
It's the one which say even the horse run.
Yeah.
You need to have a talent. Because not everybody, even if you dedicate the whole life, you cannot become a grandmaster if you cannot have something from the soul.
So you believe that, for example, I am grandmaster, I'm a master. I born and because something happened to me, I became a grandmaster, and someone else who tries all his life will never be.
Of course not. No.
Why?
You dedicate it.
Dedicate is something different. I don't need mind to dedicate. I don't need to be smart. Do I? But then again, what's the chess talent? Someone who is dedicated. So no, that's all.
Or someone said that it's 5% talent and 95% work.
No. 1% inspiration and 99% transpiration.
We have a lot of different views.
This is
Very
Capablanca.
interesting.
Capablanca said that. I think.
Okay. The others? No opinion?
Talent is personal qualities, mental, physical qualities is better than average or something.
Later on, we will have a talk about some things what we need to become better from when we born on someone which we can apply later. Okay, I don't want to get very much in that now, but what I noticed that a lot of people they identify the talent something alien, something comes from outer space and simply exist. I had a lot of times people who really, let's say, failed in their chess education to say, well, I never became a chess player because I was untalented. All the other became good because he's talented. And actually I come to the conclusion that talent is the excuse of the failure. I came to this idea somehow because I cannot understand their way of thinking. What means the other is talented, I am not, so the other became good, I didn't. You mean that you're born with this, you couldn't do anything to change your fate? That's all. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be. What do you think? I mean, tomorrow or today even, you're training young kids. Do you really make them believe in talent? Do you say to their parents that your son or daughter is talented and the other is not? Do you tell this? Okay, say we're talking between. I will not tell anything outside from here. Don't worry. Just he records everything. Be careful. Okay, the next one will cut it off. Yeah? Everything in life can be learned. There is nothing that nobody can do nothing. This is a very big lie. Anybody can do anything. The question is, would he have good inspiration? He will have good trainers behind him. He will have enough dedication. All in all, he must have correct work, how he will go. All the other, believe me, are lies. There is nothing else in this way. How he works and how much he works. If you ask any grandmaster, if you tell to any grandmaster that he's talented, you're offending him, in a way. Because no one can really accept that all the thousands of hours he worked in his life goes nowhere. Actually, the modern theory says that he needs about 10,000 hours of labor working to become expert in anything. Doesn't matter if you call it chess, college, whatever. They have calculated you need 10,000 hours of hard labor work to become the top expert in your thing. Yes?
I have a question about Magnus Carlsen, for
Yes.
example. Do you think he is talented?
Yes. In my way. My way talented.
Yes, because there was this really great interview, quite shocking interview, where he said that he can sometimes even not do any stuff with the chess for days or even weeks. So,
Yes.
for example, it was there was assumption that a top-level grandmaster has to devote, I don't know, at least several hours per day. So it was quite shocking that world #1. I mean, he has a very easygoing attitude. So I'm not sure.
So your question is easy to be answered. We're talking about going in the top, not staying in the top. Magnus went to the top. So there he can do what he likes. It's very simple. What he says is quite natural. Kasparov was making the same. They were paying in his life before some matches that he went 3 or 4 months to the mountains working only chess, and then 3 or 4 months he was doing nothing in chess. You cannot do every day the same. But in order to go to the top, you know, Magnus was taken by Simen Akdestein in his school when he was about 6 years old. And until he had many years of working. We tend to wrongly think that when we see a very young boy, let's say 7 or 8 years old, winning against someone who is 80, and this is sensational. Everybody say, oh, how the 8 years old won against the 80? Well, the main question what I make all the time is how many years background has he got? We are interested in the background. We're not interested. If he start playing chess now, okay, then it's sensational. But if the boy is working already 3 years, maybe the 80 years old guy learned chess yesterday, so it's quite reasonable. We don't have anything to do with muscles, we're playing with mind, so background is important. Magnus Carlsen had a very good training experiment. Actually, the school of Simen Akdestein was created in Oslo after Akdestein decided to withdraw from professional chess and football, because also he was a football player. He was the only one who played for 2 national teams, for football and chess at that time. He created a school under the state, and from the school some nice guys came for, but of course his main trainee was Magnus Carlsen from when he was about 6 or 7 years old. So all these years he needed to go to the top. They were working very good, very hard. Okay, now he is in the completely top, and of course he take it easily. And I tell you, don't believe anything. It's very nice to learn that, hey guys, everything is coming easy to me. I'm the best, I'm not going to work. People loves it. Loves to hear that you can go somewhere without working. It's his dream to everybody. But it's not true. Of course he works, but he doesn't want to tell you when do you know when he works? Do you know when he met, for example, with Kasparov when he was training? Nobody knew. Only his manager. It's simple. They don't want to know people to know many details. It's normal. And of course they want to tell you that everything now comes easy to me. Where do you think he finds all this kind of, let's say, prepared novelties he plays? Somebody is giving him to him. It's not a possibility. But still he has to work on them. So he needs his time. But of course now he's in the absolute top. Maybe he doesn't need so much time. Kasparov the same was declaring in some article that the main thing is working. I was lucky enough when I was young, many years ago, actually in the last decade, the last 1,000 decades, sorry. In 1984 I participated in a Moscow program. Probably they sent me as an experiment, I suppose so. where me and some other, let's say, at that time, Western boys, let's say, were training in the famous Botvinnik school, the same one which all the generation of these Soviets top grandmasters went at that time, Kramnik, Kasparov, Karpov, everybody. This Botvinnik school made after was Kasparov school, and now it's simply the Moscow Center school. Wouldn't forbid Kasparov anymore, with the standard political situation. So what I really was impressed that at that time we were working 8 hours daily, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, like hell. We were working in a very good strategical plan. Today we look isolated bomb, for example, only. Came, for example, Mr. Bulgaevsky at that time, top player of Soviet Union, gets in and say, now you learn it. If you don't learn it, you don't go out, simply. Who can't learn it, he can go to hell. I don't care. This was the idea. Either you learn it, either you're out. We don't speak if you can learn it. And I was shocked because I was coming from a completely different idea of education. Okay, I don't say this correctly, I say how it was. Every day some top grandmaster will come inside, look at the boys and say, today you will learn this. It's very simple. You will learn it, you like it or not. I don't really speak if you have to learn. That's the system here. We have 1,000 boys, we want one. That's very simple. We want the next world champion. We teach you our system. Who can follow, fine. Who cannot follow, we don't care. This was the way they were creating at that time the world champion. Okay, but this is something which we have time to talk. Now after this introduction, I think the best part of the lesson came. Break.